Well, yeah, it's been a while, but we're back with none other than our boy Aldhair.
The legend.
Let the people know who you are, what you do.
Founder of Finessing Miami and Up2Something Studios. I've called myself a hyphenated creator in which I have a lot of hats that I wear. And I say I'm good at connecting the dots within products, clients, and the consumer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
pretty
I would,
direct.
yeah, someone asked me what you do, I'd say that. Dot connector, for sure. Where are you from? You're from Miami?
I'm from Venezuela, and I came here when I was 2, raised in Kendall, and now I say like I'm from Wynwood because I'm always here.
Everybody's from Kendall, man. Shout out Kendall. Skrill loves it.
I'm not going to
Kelvin loves it.
Shout out
Where
Hialeah.
are you guys from?
I was born and raised in Miami Gardens,
Okay.
but now I reside in Miami Lakes, little Hialeah town, I guess.
It's not the same thing? Miami Gardens, Miami Lakes?
Yeah,
Nah,
they're like right next to each
Oh.
other, but yeah, two different. Miami Lake's really small. It's weird. It's a weird little town. Has its own like cops and shit. It's weird.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you drive through the whole town in like 2 minutes.
It's just
Oh,
one, it's just
damn.
one street.
Yeah, it's like it's
Main
the
Street,
smallest thing.
It's tight.
Oh.
It's not,
Yeah,
it's
very small town.
Cool place.
So how'd you start finessing?
So I started from ACCMiami. I started making clothes out my house, and then it graduated into just making something that anybody could wear. At the time, I was working at a law firm in which the lawyer would play golf during the week. And at that time, I didn't play golf, but I just enjoyed seeing how much joy he got from playing golf. And everybody was wearing fitted hats. And I feel like at that time, I brought people into dad hats. And I used the term that Travis Scott was using a lot, finessing, and used the font from Titleist and made the finessing hat. And I feel like that's how I was able to have it on like people like Odell Beckham, Dr. Miami.
Yeah, I've seen a
Kodak.
bunch of people wear the finessing hats. Even regular people too. You go somewhere and you be like, oh shit, that's a finessing hat.
Yeah.
Finessing had the streets on lock for a while, for sure. Everybody had those.
And like the
hats.
different colors, then you
Yeah.
started going harder with the different types of hats and shit like that.
Yeah,
Now, I still get excited when I see a Titleist hat like out in the open. I'm like, is that finessing? Nah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen like on TV people wearing them. I'm like,
like a finessing or
yeah,
Titleist?
no, Tyler's over.
Yeah. Like it's happened like once, like last year at the fair. But
That's fire.
I came up to them and I was like, you know what you're wearing? He's like, yeah, finessing hat. I was like, cool.
That's always a dope thing to see.
Dope.
So how long were you selling the finessing hats and working on finessing before you knew that it was gonna like take off?
Well, how'd you start selling them? Also, like,
How did I start selling them? Out my car.
Just
I
out
mean,
the
but
car,
like
trapping like that.
I was just really trapping it. Just and I like to say that I trap like clothing. Since I don't sell drugs, I treat like whatever I'm selling like it is drugs. Like I need to push it. Like yeah, I moved 5 hats today. Like I would record them. Like I just here you go.
Yeah, because
It's like the riff saying the pushing weight.
Yeah, pushing weight.
Yeah. So then I got into shoe gallery, and then I just kept on moving it, and then eventually a celebrity wore it, and then once that celebrity wore it, I got $20,000 worth of sales.
Nice.
And then, just kept on moving it. And it was easy for me. The only change that I did was I changed the color every month.
Yeah. Which shout out to Shoe Gallery, man, because they allow the locals to put their stuff in their shop.
To this day, too. Like, they really be putting out for like new brands, 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers.
And there's always celebs and different artists going to Shoe Gallery to shop, so it gives people a chance to have their clothes worn by someone who, if they get a photo taken of them, it's like, damn, now everyone's gonna want
it happens to me to this day. I put out like a design, and I take it to Shoe Gallery, and it could be on a podcast. It was Pivot.
Oh yeah.
It was on Pivot, and that's like a huge podcast.
Yeah.
It was a You're Something Else hat, and I was like, oh shit, fire!
So
and then I
now
had to
you see
like
so many
think
people
about
are
like
seeing your product.
how was it on this guy, and it was Shoe Gallery because I have no interaction with that podcast.
It's always a good connector.
The athlete,
for sure.
Which I guess that hits a little harder because maybe they saw it and they're like, damn, nah, I need this.
No, it's like organic for real.
Yeah, it's not like someone forced them.
No,
you
it's
gotta
like,
wear this.
oh, I like that hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
From like the first sample you made of of the Finessing Titleist hat, from the minute you made that first sample till when you started making crazy bread off it, how long was the gap? Like, how long did it take? Was it like a quick, like it took off immediately?
I'll say 2 years.
2 years?
2 years of giving out like free hats, like, and then giving out discounts. It's like giving out to your friends. I probably gave out 100 free hats.
Yeah.
It's an exaggeration, but it's like maybe like 50 free hats. I gave it half off, and then on the site it's full price. But, you know, I really invested into that brand, and everybody that I wanted in that hat got a free hat.
That's dope.
And then everybody that had a hat got a free hat. Like, if you bought a hat, all right, I appreciate you. Here's a free hat.
And you mentioned Travis. Travis got a hat too.
Travis did get a hat.
Flacco.
Yeah.
Yes, shout out.
That's love. That's love. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
We got the picture. We'll add it to the thing, but yeah.
Well, he flew somewhere, right?
He went to the concert in
He
Chicago.
went to the concert.
Yeah, and he gave him the hat.
Yeah. I still owe him a hat because he's like, yo, I gave him a hat. You got me? And then I think we figured it out, but I think I owe him a Finessing hat.
Well, you're down the street. You could always slide over there and pick up a hat.
You mentioned celebrities. Who was like the first cosign that you got?
So the first cosign that I got it came from just working with a lot of photographers and models. Usually when I'd pay in Finessing hats as well. And after a photo shoot, I gave Brandon Almango like 10 hats. And he went to a Playboy party in California and left his hat, and Odell picked it up and posted it. And when I saw that, I didn't see it first. My boy sent it to me. I was like, yo, I should have trademarked it. I should have trademarked it because I thought it was a fake Finessing hat.
Yeah.
And eventually I found out that
it was yours.
It was mine through Brandon losing it and him picking it up at the party. And then I just started like feeding him hats.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how life works sometimes and like things like that happen.
No, I know. Yeah, it was fire. Like after I found out that it wasn't a fake hat, I was happy. But at first I was like, okay, I had to.
Yeah, you
had to
like,
make have to go back to ACCMiami then.
It would have been crazy though if it was a fake hat. That's kind of dope too.
I was like, damn, so fast. I'm not even lit. Like,
do you still do the Finessing hats at all?
No,
so you retired it?
I have a plan to come back. I think it's too soon for me to like say my whole idea, but I want to come back and then just work with everybody that I worked with before.
Okay.
And I also have to change like the font.
Okay.
A little bit,
to make it like more like different.
But
like
you have to make it a little more different than the original font.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like an updated version.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you're a little more known, it's like you don't want to just blatantly copy.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There's a lot of cases going out there. So.
Yeah, for sure. So you said you were working at a law firm when you started it?
So yeah, I was working on a law firm.
How did you end up quitting that job to work on that full time?
So, you know, a lot of people quit their job without having a plan.
Yeah.
I quit my job when I had enough money in my bank account to be able to like do this for 6 months. And also I saw revenue coming in for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, like consistent.
You know, consistently. Yeah. And then I didn't just like quit, fuck this job. I still work with them. The Goldberg and Rosen is like one of my best clients.
Shout out.
And I design their merch. And you know that we have a great relationship. I go to their like Christmas parties and everything.
That's dope.
Yeah.
There's one thing I will say that I noticed that you did was, in my opinion, the smartest thing you ever did was you went from using someone to make your hats to you making the hats yourself.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to,
appreciate it.
If you want to tell people how that happened.
I had
how did that idea even come to you? Because most people won't do that.
I think it's because I had like fashion in my family. So my parents had a clothing line in Venezuela, like a bathing suit clothing line, and I have sewing machines in my house. And I was really just thinking about like how could I save from producing in the United States, or how could I do it myself? So I just bought this machine, and I also thought of how could I have my mom not work for somebody else, and I thought it would be a better idea for her to work for me than just work for somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
And when I got the machine, it came with a 3-day trial, not a 3-day trial, but just a 3-day, like you learn how to use the machine, and my mom was there with me, and we learned how to use it, and I brought down the price of making the hat from $15 to like $7.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
But in which I could have done Alibaba, but like It gave me so much freedom. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like I could make one hat this color, the other hat this color.
I mean now you can also make hats for other people. So
which I did.
That
it became another business.
Yeah. But at that time you probably weren't thinking.
That far ahead. I don't think it was there.
Yeah, like you were more focused on like, let me try to just do this myself. That way, I could produce my own hats.
I remember the day that you got the machine because you put it on Instagram. That you got this big. I remember vividly that you posted the delivery truck delivering it. I was like, what the hell is out there? What is he doing? What is this? And then when you showed it, I was like, oh, this guy's crazy. Because I know those machines are so intricate. Like, they're hard to use. I've gone to this guy.
Isaac.
Shout out Isaac. Yeah. I've been there and I've seen him doing it. And I'm like, that looks like a headache. So salute to you for even learning how to use that.
So what? I love it now. By now you're used to it?
Like I'm an embroidery master.
Oh, you're a master. You did our F1 hat.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Those came out. People love those. So for
sure.
The
The hero hat.
The Tyler hero hat.
For sure the hero hat.
The hero hat.
It's funny how often he wore that.
No, I was like, damn.
I love it.
Shout out that guy. But you're a master of that craft now, so that's good. Definitely got something else out of it. We're gonna take a small break and then we're gonna come right back. We're back.
There you go.
All right, so how'd you come up with Up to Something?
So I started it off with Norma, right? But at first...
Norma now.
But prior to Up to Something, when I quit my job, I found myself at my house just like working on my finessing hats, but I also like would just put stuff off to the side and just take long on everything. And I needed that relationship I had with my not my employees, just my peers at the office. And I needed a workspace, so I went to 1L and I got a little desk at an art studio, and I started growing it. And I saw this big, 2,000 square foot just room that I needed to rent, and I split it with Norma, and we started Up to Something Studios. From there, we invited more creatives, and we just wanted to captivate this just Miami scene in this room.
So that was the game plan, just like get a space and then work with the creatives that are local.
It was like get a space and create like the super team of creatives and just like keep growing there.
Yeah, because didn't you have like rooms and stuff? Like there was upstairs, I remember. Okay.
And then the building got bought out, and then I moved down to where I am at now, and I started Up to Something Studios.
That's how
I continued Up to Something Studios. And during the pandemic, or like even prior to the pandemic. So at this point,
you're doing it alone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing it alone, but I still have a team of just creatives within the space.
Yeah.
Just doing their own thing as well.
No, I was speaking in terms of like with Norma now.
What?
Like now that you moved to this space that you're at now, from it's just you?
There, I did it alone.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was referring to.
Was the process hard? Like
the growth?
The process
the
of
evolution
starting,
of everything?
like getting a spot and starting something new.
It's hard to this day. Like
it's
just growing. Growing is different, you know.
Yeah, because like I was
hustling.
I was just talking to someone about this the other day, where like when you first start off your business, it's slow. Mm-hmm. So for us, like I think we went like over 30 days. Where we had the website going, all of our inventory was loaded up on there, and like nothing sold.
Oh wow!
So we were just like, damn, whatever. You move to the next day, you're still buying shit that you think you can make money on, but you're not seeing any results. So how was it in the beginning when you did Up to Something? Do you have something similar like that to share, where like you remember when it was slow and shit was a lot different than it is now?
I just feel like the slow days made me think in different ways into like how to create something for anybody. Because now I had Finessing, and then I had Up to Something Studios. And then I used Up to Something Studios to make wholesale hats for Daily or make merchandise for Shoe Gallery. So I would adapt, and I was able to do more things through Up to Something Studios.
Okay, yeah, you open more avenues to make money and shit like that. The wind is picking up out there. It's been a nice day today, though. The weather's been nice. It was like like chilly and windy.
Did it take a while for you to start like profiting off of the business? Or the fact that you had the finessing.
But I think finessing funded Up to Something Studios, so I never felt like it was costing me too much to like have both companies or just like start up.
Yeah, it was definitely easier for you to transition.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it was a simple transition, especially with like using everything I learned from finessing and applying it to Up to Something Studios. It was just like a rebrand, basically.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you've had that space for the one that you're currently in for how long?
Around 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
So pandemic time.
So I moved in a couple months before the pandemic. Okay. And then around that time, Up to Something Studios was just like a place for creatives just to work on their own projects.
Okay.
And then during the pandemic, I had to make it into several things. I had parties in there. I had just people were working in there. We would do wheat pasting. We would do everything.
The wheat pasting.
Embroidery. Everything.
Whatever made
anything,
yeah. Just hustling.
Yeah.
Back to your true nature. Same with
exactly. It's what I love.
It's pretty dope.
What would you say is your favorite pop-up that you've done up to today?
I like bringing out artists to Miami and then seeing what happens after. I mean, this artist, Codone, I really loved Codone because it was the first time I saw him in Miami. And then after that, he did a collab with Rolling Loud that I facilitated. So it's like, it's cool. It's like, I thought that was like a pat on my back to say like, oh, they saw it, and then they asked me for his contact, and then I plugged them, and it went through.
Yeah, like validated what you saw. So that's super dope. What's the biggest one pop-up that you've done? Because I've been there, and the block gets pretty hectic.
Prior to the pandemic, they were bigger. And then currently, my last Thursday, it was huge. I don't want it to get that big because now it's just a risk for me to have people on the street.
Yeah.
So last Thursday was like one of the biggest that I've had, where I had 40 artists they painted skateboards and just brought it to the studio. I had 15 from Miami and 25 from around the world show their skateboards at the studio, and that brought a lot of people out. And unfortunately, I had to close early just because there was just too many people. My landlord was like, "Yo, this is crazy. I thought this was an art show."
Yeah. I saw you were posting the different boards, and a dude made even a mini version.
So yeah. So I guess this is the portion that I want to show, the merch I make.
For sure.
Which I am.
Yeah, you
proud
can
of
walk
the
it
merch.
up to any of the which camera, that middle one.
I feel like this part of the portion, of the interview is the segment that I promote the merch. Yeah. So since the boards range from 300 to 4,000, I was like, yo, how could I get more people to just buy things and leave with art? So I came up with the tech deck, in which a miniature version of every board, or just not every board, 10 boards that we picked.
Here, let me see.
And this is the perfect frame. So not. All right, sorry. And then it comes with the kit as well.
Yeah. Oh, that looks like you saw that movie mid-90s?
Yeah.
They gave you a board.
Yeah,
and
that's I have the same one.
And it came.
And then I figured out all the pieces that I need to make and how to print it, and I made these tech decks and also came up with the frame for you to just have it in your crib as well as
the frame is pretty cool.
So this is what they painted on this?
No, this is printed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that a copy of the actual art.
Yeah. This is Mujer Gitana.
So you made 10 of these, and they were also available for sale.
Yeah, exactly. And you got the kit. These are the other ones. The cut one is from Marlon Pruz, and we just made a
This is the one that I saw you post.
Nice. Yeah. And then we're gonna have an activation where people just come and make their own tech decks. So, yeah.
So safe to say the pop-up was a success.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great.
And you sold some of the boards too.
We sold 4, and then
which some were some had crazy prices. Yeah, others were pretty cheap.
The most expensive board we sold was 4,000, and we sold it to the artist. to the celebrity dude that does this. I forgot his name.
Oh,
KB?
the dude that be like, and
he does. You see a simple video.
Like he won't say shit, but he'll go like that. Like,
I don't know who that is, but shout out that guy.
You know what it is?
Shout out that guy.
He's like one of the biggest.
When you see him, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I know who the fuck it is."
Bro. No, I don't.
I'll pull it up real quick. I wouldn't even know how to fucking Google that shit.
You got a Google image.
I don't know where my phone is.
Maybe it's the obvious dude. So would you say what would you say if you can anyway, or if you want to? What was your least favorite pop up that you had?
Say it.
I'd say any pop up that just like gets me in trouble for no reason. Just
like police wise.
Like just police wise.
Okay.
That's an unsuccessful pop up for me. It makes me lose money.
How many times has that happened where they've gotten shut
I've been
down?
like three times.
Okay, it's not
yeah.
that bad. You've done a good
yeah,
amount.
Or like I guess like there was a pop up where they flooded my toilet. Oof. That's annoying. You know what I mean?
That's not cool.
But it's not on the people that are there. It's just like the guest. Winwood has old pipes, I guess. Ain't crazy. It's gonna take too long. Oh, but this dude.
It's an old dude.
No, that looks like an old dude.
It's not an old white dude.
Show it on the camera. It's not that guy.
I don't have good
when we
signal
show
here.
you're gonna be like, fuck, I know.
Next thing.
Yeah.
All right, so this is another thing I love making. It was with Kiki, the brand.
I still want one of those.
Yeah, this one is for you.
Oh, nice. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that hat's hard.
I really enjoy being able to create for anybody. And this was like a different demographic in which I feel like I hit it. And it fits her crowd.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is really dope.
Yeah. And the thing that I liked about that is how I was able to print on the top
super brim.
On the brim.
And it came out clean too. It's not like fucked
That's
up.
not sloppy. It's nice and clean.
My past collaboration was we had a denim flower shop. It was with Christina Lemaigret, is where she has a flower print, and I've always loved the flower print design. Even from like Murakami, I used to put the little Murakami pins on my shoes. I always wanted to make a flower. That's why I really gravitated to her like brand and just always wanted to work with her. And I'm in a point where I really don't always want to make a shirt and a hat, because if I have 4 pop-ups a month, it's 4 different shirt designs, 4 different hat designs, and that's like really expected or just common for me to produce. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to get out of that space, and I was like, yo, maybe we can make a home good item that you could wear as well. So that's why we came up with the flower that never dies, because it's a denim flower made from recycled denim, and the flower is detachable. And
that's the jacket that you're wearing, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is just a pin that I just pinned on to the jacket. So it's a vase, and then it has the Levi's inspo tag.
Dope.
Yeah, I saw the hat has the Screen Stars tag.
Oh yeah. So
Up to something.
I love that tag, so I made my tag like that.
Fire.
Very dope.
Yeah, and it is true. Like you say, you don't want to just do tees and hats.
Yeah, you do four in a month. You're expecting people to spend that much money on the same items.
It's too. How many things can I put something on, or like up to something, or if I was gonna do a collab with Kiki, what am I gonna say? Up to Kiki again, or up to daily? So I was just like, yo, I need to figure out something rather than just making a hat and a shirt.
For sure,
because it's gonna get repetitive.
No, I respect that for sure.
Yeah, I was looking at clothing, like certain clothing pieces earlier, and I was like, not everything has to have a screen print on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you can make something that has a pattern on it, and it'll still be dope, like a striped polo or something like that. But a lot of times you get consumed in like, oh, I need a fire graphic. I need to have a screen print.
How could we have both of our logos on the shirt?
Yeah, like some things don't need a logo, you know? Like the denim jacket that you're wearing doesn't necessarily need, a big back screen print or any chain stitching or anything. So sometimes you can
small
make
detail
something
like that just sets it off.
that's plain and it's still dope. People are going to fuck with it. or you can make a home good item, and people are gonna
I really love
this is different.
This is my favorite. And then the last thing is just the phrase. I really love phrases, and this one, my friend would, whenever I'd tell him an idea or whatever I was doing, he'd be like, "You're something else," and I was like, anything with something or like any phrase with something I love. So I just put "You're something else" on the hat, and it's either like the team could be doing good or bad, and
you did one with the Dolphins and Jalen Waddle, right?
Yeah.
How'd that come about?
My homegirl Tiara was doing an interview with him for just like the Dolphins were doing something for breast cancer, and she was doing the design, and her man was like, "Yo, come because my girl's gonna meet Jalen tomorrow." Fine. And I just slid and gave him a hat. Yeah, I gave him a hat, and then I had another hat that I just bought in the car. I went back to the car and got it signed because I was like, "Yo, this one's gonna pay for the one I just gave him." But like,
I'm pretty sure a bunch of people hit you up. Yo, get a Dolphins hat.
Now that design that you do is very fire.
Appreciate it. I feel like I could put it on anything.
Yes, 100%.
That's how we feel about like the word daily and doing collabs with people. It's like, we'll find an easy way for it to work.
Incorporate.
Yeah. That even coming here, I was like, yo, what collab could I come up with you guys? And that's why I was like sick when I saw the pads, the shoe cleaning pads, because I was like, yo, things that you need for like a consignment store,
laces,
laces,
the
cleaning wipes, and then I was like, oh, a toothbrush, which is something that you didn't have, like toothbrush to bring it back
accessories,
to like,
It's just, man, like in that world, certain things work for certain shoes. So, but with that being said, like you need to know what goes with what. You can't use a certain bristle on suede, or you could damage it, or on patent leather you could scratch it. So that's where it gets fucky because you sell those things and
those could scratch patent leather.
No, but like those wipes, you're not supposed to use it on like, let's say, a light khaki suede,
or like certain
because it could damage it. But if someone goes and doesn't read the shit and then just uses it, and it comes back to you, your product damaged my shoe. It's like, that's where it gets fucky.
Has that happened?
No.
Oh, okay. You just prepare.
It could though. You never know. But yeah, what's the current status of Up2Something Studios as of right now?
Up2Something just keeps producing new ideas. I either want to work with an agency or become a bigger agency. Right now, I feel like I'm a freelance creative, and I just want to get contacted by more artists looking for things like what I just showed you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like agencies, they're good at making things happen, but they don't execute the best.
Yeah.
Like, because they're rushed, so they're not trying to like make the coolest thing. They're just like, yo, we could make it at like a promo printing place, and then now we just have our promo with our logo for the pop up during Art Basel. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're looking for quick turnaround stuff, and you're looking for more creative.
I want to create less like wasteful consumption, and if I make something that a consumer is going to use for a longer time as opposed to like a hat with a logo on it that they'll only use for while they're at the pop-up, I think I did my job correctly.
For sure.
And then, they benefit from them walking around with their logo,
Yeah, it's promotion for them also.
Let's touch on sneakers and fashion. Anything you're into right now?
I'm into clothes that's made by my friends, or just like the underdog.
Yeah.
SNS is becoming a bigger brand right now. I wanted to wear it was like, yo, do I either wear Heat, and most of my Heat I sold, or do I wear like a unique shoe that I don't see that often, and this is the shoe I picked for today.
What are those exactly?
Essence or SNS. SNS worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you first walked in, I was like, "Oh, those are pretty dope." They're like, I know it was one of those.
He's a creative dude. He also made the T-bone Crocs.
I haven't seen those.
Huh? They look like the Pokemon, the T-bone, with the skull.
Oh, like
Cubone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen those.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So
those
it's
are
the same
hard.
brand.
That's dope.
Okay. Yeah, when I saw you walk in, I instantly was like, oh, I've seen those on fucking Instagram before, but I didn't know the brand or anything. The Cubone ones, same shit. Like, I've seen them, you know, you're scrolling through the feed and shit, and something pops up, and I'm like, oh, shit, those are actually hard. They remind me of, like, the Yeezy foams.
Yeah.
So before finessing, you would resell sneakers.
Yeah.
But was it like something you did full time or just on the side?
It was just on the side in high school, but I feel like it came from just like this hustle mentality. I even started in elementary where I started with Pokemon cards. I'd trade Pokemon cards, and then it went to Beyblades, and then in middle school or high school it went to chocolate because you guys never sold chocolate?
Yeah, like the candy kit at school.
Yeah, but not the candy kit. I went to Costco, got that candy kit, and then just made my own money. And then that funded like sneakers. And
yeah, because in school there was always like the kid that had all the snacks.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit.
Snack man.
Yeah.
And on the block, she's called the candy lady. So like every neighborhood will have the candy lady. You pull up, you knock on someone's door.
That's something you
I had a candy lady. You knock on her door, she had everything. Like you didn't need to go to the corner store or nothing. You just went to the candy lady's house.
We just had the ice cream, man.
I was like, that was in Guatemala or something.
Shout out Guatemala.
Big shout out to Guatemala.
Shout out punk rock.
One of the last questions here. Do you have a dream collab?
Dream collab.
If you have more than one, you can give it.
I do. I don't know like what brand, but like dream item. I for sure want to make a shoe. I don't know who it would be with.
I feel like a shoe is a tough one to make too.
Oh shit!
Like,
dream collab would be with Verdi.
Verdi,
that's so
fire. I feel like that's a fire collab.
That'd be fire.
I like some of
that fits. I like that.
Some of the denim.
It
stuff
could be like a
they-
pop-up / collab. Done that.
I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, what I like about your space too is that like it puts people onto new things and brands and people. There's always something going on over there.
Yeah.
That maybe that's like another little saying.
Yeah. There's always this thing that people say about Miami that the people from Miami don't support Miami, but you're living proof that you're here supporting the
Yeah, 'cause,
underdog,
like,
you said.
One day you could have a company or a brand doing a pop-up up to something where it's like it's well known. Then the next weekend or the next day, it could be someone that has like 1,000 followers or something.
I mean, it's because like either they could afford to be there, or I really believe them.
Yeah, either
And-
you fuck with it, so you're like, nah, this is dope. I want people
I
to.
believe in them, and I want them to do something bigger than what they're doing at the moment. So I come up with an idea, and I even pitch to like smaller brands. Like, yo, this is cool. Let's do this. Make it a little bigger and have a show or have a pop-up. They're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, make it
like,
interactive also.
That's fire.
Which a lot of your pop-ups, they're
What?
majority of them are like hands-on things, right?
For sure.
Yeah, like
I'm
crafts.
hands-on with everything. Just like people come in and do things.
Or like even your stuff, like the stuff you were doing with the ink, where it's like, oh, what do you see here? And you unfold the paper.
Because that's just like the shit I love. So I feel like I want to entertain people while doing something that I enjoy doing.
Yeah, and that keeps people like wanting to know more about like, oh, what's Aldhair working on, or what's up to something up to today.
What was the catchphrase you said like 3 minminutes ago? You're like, yo, that might be one.
Oh, always something going on.
Right, let me see.
Birdman
I
Just send me the
appreciate it, my
royalties,
boy.
send me the
Appreciate it.
royalties. But
But
yeah, man.
kind of long, but I feel.
Yeah, you can make it work.
Yeah, you can make it work.
Something going on, something around there. You'll make it work. You got the foundation now, though.
But yeah, appreciate you coming on.
course,
If
thank
you want to plug your everything,
Your social.
pause.
What?
Pause. Plug, yeah. Plug whatever.
I'm Aldhair. I own Up2Something Studios in Finessing, Miami. If you want to do a pop-up in Miami, hit me up.
Tap in.
What's the Instagram?
Up2Something Studios in Finessing, Miami.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
It's your boy Pro. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Kelvin thought I was gonna forget to plug us in. On the Daily Pod, we don't do the whole episode number thing anymore.
we don't.
That's Big Tessie back there on the ones and twos. Calvin.
This is episode what?
We don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah,
what was the last one?
I don't even know.
We don't put the numbers on there.
We don't believe in numbers.
Are you over 10 or
over 10 for sure?
over 10? Yeah. Under 20?
I think we're at 13 or 14.
Okay.
We're just
there's a few that
13 or 14.
There's a few that didn't come out.
Oh, okay.
We don't gotta talk about those. But yeah, all right. We'll see you next week, guys. Appreciate you. Yee.